Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with a video on Never Ever Seen Before. It is a tactical motif that has never been seen before apart from in the game that I'm going to show you, and I might add it has never been seen since, at least not to my knowledge. In this video I'm going to show you a game from Lawrence Trent, an international master from England. Many of you, dear viewers, will be familiar with that name. Trent is a well-known personality in the chess world. Let me read you what Wikipedia says about him. Lawrence Trent, born the 28th of April 1986, is an English international master and commentator. Trent has host commentated for major FIDE tournaments including the World Chess Championship Finals, Anand Carlsen in 2013. The World Candidates Tournament also in 2013, the World Cup in the same year and the 41st Chess Olympiad. He has also host commentated for independent super tournaments including the London Chess Classic from 2009 to 2014. He is also quite active on social media. One of the last things I read about him is that he is now determined to swap the International Master title for the Grandmaster one. So he may be more active as a player when over-the-board chess will return than as a commentator. Hopefully that will happen soon. I also remember having read somewhere that Trent played a series of blitz games against Magnus Carlsen where Carlsen gave rook odds. That means Carlsen started the games a rook down. If my memory serves me right, the bet was that Trent had to get a certain number of points in that match, but that Carlsen won the bet. I would have loved to see that spectacle live or on video or get the moves from the games. Another nice fact is that from June 2015 until December 2016, Lawrence Trent was the manager of Fabiano Caruana. In this video I'm going to show you a game of Trent's, one of his victories back in 2003 in the highest British league, the Four Nations Chess League, between Barbican 2 and Trent's team Wood Green. That game resulted in a unique position at the end of the game. Let's see what happened. Trent was white in this game. He had a rating of 22.57. The date is the 4th of May 2003, so Trent was not an international master yet. Trent's opponent in this game was Desmond Tan with a rating of 23.07, so both players were about FIDE master strength. Trent opened with the d-pawn, knight f6, bishop g5, e6, and here e4. That pawn cannot be taken, of course, because you'll lose your queen. Black kicked the bishop, and if you go to h4, that is a bad move because the bishop gets kicked again, and then the pawn on e4 is taken. Black wins a pawn. So after h6, Trent took on f6. Queen takes, and here knight c3 is the main move according to my database, but Lawrence Trent played queen d2 instead. d5, knight c3, protecting the e4 pawn, which is attacked now. c6, and Trent castled queenside. As we'll see, black will not commit to castling for quite a while. He will only castle in 10 moves from now on move 17. He played bishop b4 here. e5 kicking the queen back, queen dropped back to d8. a3 asking the bishop a question, bishop also dropped back. f4 and a5, black knows where to attack on the queen side where white has put his king. Trent played knight f3, b5 and a4, trying to contain black's expansion on the queen side. If you take that pawn, then the knight recaptures. In this position, the best move according to the engine is queen b6. But in the game, bishop b4 was played. Now that the b4 square is again available for black, he puts the bishop there, pinning the knight. Queen e3 unpinning the knight, and black took on c3. The engine does not approve of black's last two moves and thinks white is better now. White recaptured, black took on a4 and h4. Queen b6 and rook h3, a nice rook lift from Lawrence Trent. The idea, as we'll see, is rook g3 and attack on the king side. But the rook can also play a defensive role along the third rank. Bishop a6 developing, rook g3 as planned, and now black castled, castling against the storm. We have now opposite side castling, always a recipe for an interesting fight. Whose attack will come first? Trent goes ahead on the king side, f5, that pawn was taken. Queen e3, threatening to take on h6 now, because the g pawn is pinned, because of the rook. So that explains black's next move. King h8, unpinning the g pawn so that queen takes h6 will not come. But e5, e6 is a very nice move from Trent. You really have to take that. That's really the only move not to get into a lost position. White then recaptures, and there is a move like queen b7. White is better, but the game continues. But after e6, black Desmond Tan did not take on e6. He played f6, and that move deserves a question mark. Because now Trent played very energetically. e7, threatening to promote, so rook e8, stopping that pawn, and now look at this move. Knight f3 to e5, exclamation mark, what a beautiful move. A piece sacrifice, it is the best move in the position according to the engine, and in fact white is already winning here. What happens if you take the knight, f takes e5, well then there is queen takes e5 with a checkmate threat on g7 with queen and rook. If you protect the g7 square that way, then there is e8 queen, and that will lead to checkmate very soon. And if you don't do that, but play rook takes e7, also protecting the g7 square, then there is simply queen takes e7, and the checkmate threat is still there, and black is not going to survive this. So after knight e5, you cannot really take that knight. Black saw that and played rook a7. But look at this move. Rook takes g7 on move 23, another powerful blow. After the piece sacrifice, now white is sacrificing a rook. And the threat is queen takes h6, and that is checkmate. So black has to take that rook. Black did. Queen g3 check, king h8, and knight f7 check. Black has only one legal move, and then h4, h5, closing the mating net around black's king. The threat is now queen g6, that would be checkmate. So rook g8 was played, and then the last move of the game, e8 queen. And here black resigned. The threat is queen g8 checkmate, or the other queen takes on g8 checkmate. Both moves are checkmate. And black can take either queen, but then the other queen delivers mate. FIDE master Jonathan Rogers commented here, a novel situation as far as I know. Has anyone before seen a serious game where one side has two queens, both queens are en prise, and unprotected even, to the same enemy piece, with each queen being able to deliver mate in one upon the capture of the other? As far as I know, this has never been seen before and has never been seen since. So you can take that queen on e8, but then queen g6 is checkmate. Alternatively, you can take the other queen, and then queen h8 is checkmate in one as well. Wonderful game from Lawrence Trent. A beautiful, powerful attack, and then this very unique position at the end. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel, and please leave a comment. I will read them all and I will reply to them all. If you liked the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.